Hello. We just walked through the direct materials calculation in Excel in the last video. And then I gave you a little teaser for this video saying that we weren't quite done with our direct material cost. What we had calculated was just our preliminary DM cost. We still had to consider one more item, and that is what's called our direct material acquisition costs. Acquisition costs. Because all of these raw materials, my bag of soil, my 8-pack of flowers, all my decorations for my planter box, they didn't just magically appear in front of me, right? I had to go out, drive to Ace Hardware, and get them. You don't want to fail to capture those costs. Me driving there, that reflects gas, that reflects wear and tear on my car, that reflects my time. And if I don't count those, my product cost will be too low, which means my sales price will be set too low and I won't be able to cover my costs in the long term. So we need to consider this. So in my case, my DM acquisition costs are my mileage and my time, right? Again, don't fail to include those. All right, and if you didn't in your project, maybe you didn't go drive somewhere, maybe Amazon delivered it to you, then it still would be any delivery fees that you paid for that delivery. And if you say, oh, I get free delivery, no, you don't. You probably have to pay for a Prime membership. It's $100 a month. So you're gonna have to prorate that into the calculation because you don't want to undercost your product. Also consider your time to place the order, to handle the order and unpack it, right? All that time reflects costs. So for me, in my example, it's my mileage. I went to the Ace Hardware that is 2.3 miles from my home. It's obviously a round trip, so I did 2.3 mile trips there and back. So that gives me a total of 4.6 miles. We're going to multiply that by the IRS mileage rate. The IRS mileage rate right now is 58 cents per mile. That number reflects your gas, your wear and tear on your car, repairs, insurance, depreciation. All of that is included in that figure. So it's a lot easier to use that mileage rate than to calculate what your actual gas is per mile and all of that. So feel free to use that rate. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So that gives me a total mileage cost of $2.67. Okay, that reflects my mileage. Then don't forget about your time. I'm going to separate my time into 3 areas. The time that it took me to drive there, the time that it took me to do my shopping, and the time it took me to unload all of these materials from my car, into my work area. Okay, so according to Apple Maps, it's an 8-minute drive there. And again, I had to come back. So that gives me a total of 16 minutes. It took me about 10 minutes to shop. Luckily, everything I needed was in the same aisle, so I grabbed the soil, the flowers, and my decorations. And this also includes any time that you spend waiting in line to check out and walking back to your vehicle. And then unloading, I'll say it took me about 4 minutes. So add all that up, I should get a nice even 30 minutes. So 30 minutes times what to get a cost? Times your cost of labor. So if you have another job, maybe you work at the school student office or something, whatever your rate is. If you don't have a job right now or you're not sure, go ahead and use the minimum wage rate for Santa Clara County, which is $15 an hour. So that means my labor time to get all of my materials, again, this is for one planter box, was $7.50. So we'll add the two together to get our DM acquisition cost. Once we have that, we'll add it to our DM cost to get our total, our preliminary DM cost, to get our total DM for this planter, 7 by 18 inch planter box. See, it can be a pretty significant cost, so you want to make sure that you capture it. I'll go ahead and put this in Excel and see you in the next video.